Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about the low kneeling single kettlebell press. This press is part of a series of exercises, starting with the standing press, the half kneeling short line press, the half kneeling long line press, and the high kneeling press. Each one of these exercises is meant to change the base of support so that you can get more out of light weights. The exercise we're focusing on today is the low kneeling press. This is the most extreme version of the press that requires the most flexion of the knee. Oftentimes people will use this exercise when they are recovering from knee injuries after they have done all their physical therapy and they are trying to get their knees back to their full range of movement. This is a loaded stretch combined with a press. Let's start this from the high kneeling position. The high kneeling position is an exercise that we use to emphasize stretching the front of the hips and firing our glutes. Get your kettlebell up any way you want to our rack position. Open the shoulder, press all the way up, squeeze your glutes at the top, bring the weight down, fold it all the way in. As you get better and you can maintain your glute squeeze, it will become more of a straight line press straight overhead and all the way down. The high kneeling kettlebell press is meant to help us work on getting our hips all the way forward so that we can get better at our standing press. The evolution of that is our low kneeling press, or seiza position press, from hips forward to hips as low as you can get them. You should be lower than me. I've had a bunch of knee surgeries, so I use this exercise to maintain the range of movement in my knees. Get the kettlebell up with two hands to our rack position. Sit down as low as you can. You have now turned this into a loaded stretch. Arm out to the side to square the shoulders. Open, press all the way up overhead, lock out the tricep, bring the weight down, fold it back in. Thumb comes towards the collarbone. Arm out, open, press, bring it down, roll it in. Open, press, bring it down, roll it in. As you get better, it will start to look more like a straight line up, straight line down. Some notes on this: knees apart is easier for most people. Knees all the way together tends to require the greatest amount of movement. To get the kettlebell up, one hand hooks underneath, other hand hooks, bring it to the rack position, thumb at collarbone height. Sit back, drive your rib cage down to activate your core. Open, press to lock out, bring the weight down, roll it in. Open, press, bring it down, roll it in. Open, press, bring it down, roll it in. To set the weight down, grab with your other hand, slide the weight down, straight arms, set the weight all the way down. This is a simple exercise. The things that you need to focus on are your toes pointed together in the back so that your tailbone can sit down between your heels. Knees wide and knees together will be determined by the athlete. Knees together is where we would like to get eventually. You can use this exercise as a warm-up or at the end of training. This tends to be a much lower rep exercise. Think 3 sets of 3 or 5 sets of 5. Treat it like strength training outside of your normal clean and press basic training. Key things to remember with this exercise: many athletes will not be able to do this in the beginning. They will need to block up their glutes with yoga blocks to restrict the flexion of their knees. So if you need to, block up your tailbone and do your presses. As you do the presses, just staying in that position but the shifting weight of the kettlebell will help people regain greater flexion in their knees. This exercise will link into other exercises in the future, and this is part of a greater seiza get-up press series. Be careful not to try to jump right all the way down to the full range of motion in the beginning. Block your tailbone up, start with a light weight, keep the rep count low, keep the sets low. Over time, the course of several months, lower the height of your block down until you get to your full seated seiza position and take the weight up.